Hey, what's up? It's Zadie! Welcome to Flytte Kartina, and today I'll be reviewing the movie Hidden Figures. I will not lie when I say it was the most amazing movie, worthy of any award that comes for it. That was something that I was able to experience that thousands of people did during 1961, and they had known firsthand what it was like. I mean, it was only a few decades ago that segregation was an actual thing and a societal norm. 1961 wasn't really that far away from 2017, you guys, seriously. But I digress. There are three main things I'll talk about and tell the parents their deepest, darkest fears about movies. I'm kind of giving things on a kid-like perspective, and it's not going to be super simplified, but nothing really is. Those three main things are the real rating of the movie, along with a personal rating system of mine that's going to come at the end, how good the movie was in terms of whether or not I'd see it again, and the spoiler rant! Spoiler rant is basically me letting out my angst about the movie. That'll be at the very end, so you guys don't have to watch me scream on camera. Okay, so the official rating for this movie is a surprising PG. I don't always agree with the rating system, but here is the official rating system for the amazing Motion Picture Association Incorporated thing. It's a long name, don't sue me. And then for our special movie, Hidden Figures, there's a few reasons here that they've tagged onto the bottom just to show how thorough they are on why they were providing a PG analysis for it. I didn't think the movie was rated PG. Usually when I go to adult movies, I expect them to be rated PG-13 or R. Anyways, my opinions aside, I think the movie was actually really accurate. The amazing Fox Movies website says that they rated Hidden Figures the nice and comfortable PG because of some thematic elements and language. I don't even know what thematic elements are, so let's look that up. Okay, so thematic elements aren't really defined anywhere. Dictionary.com didn't help very much, and the MPAA.org website didn't really provide a solid, concrete definition for it. So what I gathered from the words were this definition. Thematic elements are elements that are associated with the movie that may or may not be ethical in this day and age. Totally loose translation on that, don't quote me. The thematic elements were there for an actual reason, guys. They were there because it was 1961 and segregation was, unfortunately, normal. There's a list I wrote down for all the thematic elements, but it's super long and it's gonna be spoilers. So, the gist of it is, there's a lot of racial discrimination going on, but that's because it was 1961 and the movie had to properly communicate what was going on at that time in history. Second part of the PG analysis was the language. I know that it's a very touchy subject. To be honest, I didn't really have very good thoughts about the language coming into the theater, but I didn't know it was PG at the time. The lack of swearing was kind of nice for a change. The worst word I heard was that 4 asterisk word. Not that one. Or that one. Or that. What kind of word is that? That one word was the worst that I heard. The word was said quite a few times. Because, hey, this is a free country! But it was nice not to hear a cuss word every other sentence. There's a third part that wasn't mentioned in the official MPAA PG analysis, was that there were a few scenes that parents generally tend to avoid. Kissing scenes! I mean, there were 2 subplots that had a relationship, but not anything PG-13, guys, I'm just saying. Right off the bat, there was about a total of 2 kissing scenes. But I won't go into detail about what they were about or anything, because that would be spoiling the movie. All in all, I think this movie was truly rated a PG. So next, I have whether I'd recommend this movie or not, and or see it again. Yes, let's move on. Just kidding. This movie was really good, and I think it was really accurate to the times, especially since there was some plot development involving some of the women who didn't want to participate in the protests about segregation. Not all African American people are protesters, guys. That's just racist, you know? It had some slightly scary stuff, like, you know, anticipation towards a certain thing, but not like Star Wars Episode 3 scary. On my magical scale of movies, on a scale of Steamboat Willie to Deadpool, how appropriate was this movie for kids? I'd say it's like a 4, like, Tangled. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching and liking and subscribing this video. If you want to see me scream at the camera for the next 5 minutes or so, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, that's my non-spoiler review for the movie Hidden Figures. Are they gone? You You know what time it is. Well, not really, because this is my first video. It's time for the spoiler rant! Okay, so there was a lot of stuff in that movie that I absolutely loved. This movie deserves a whole ton of awards because of how it was directed and produced. Props to all the behind the scenes people and the actors. They really made a great movie. Speaking of actors, Detective Carter, Minnie, and Sheldon Cooper were all in the same movie, and it was like so great to see them all just nerd out, and I was like, ugh. Taraji P. Henson played Catherine Goebel, and she does a really good job at doing this character here. If you guys have seen Person of Interest or anything, you would know that she plays a very good, mean detective. So it was really cool to see her in this sort of more emotional, vulnerable, and nervous, nerdy role, which was totally opposite of what she played in Person of Interest. By the way, props to Taraji for being at the Grammys the other day. That was pretty cool to see her there. For those of you who watched The Help, Minnie was there. It was so cool to see Octavia Spencer come on screen. Love her, adore her, worship her. Just kidding on that last part, mostly. Sheldon Cooper was there too, and he still played the nerdy sort of role in Big Bang Theory, but he was more of like a government nerd instead of a stay-at-home with your mom nerd. Anyways, other than those three actors, they were the only ones who I really knew from previous experiences. I don't get out much, guys, sorry. But anyways, that whole movie was amazing and I absolutely loved it. By the way, science is amazing, you guys! My brother is a total genius at math, and he really liked seeing all the behind-the-scenes stuff that came along with the NASA launching. Me, I liked watching the prototype explode and the test runs failing over and over and over again. That was pretty funny. Okay, but the whole movie was like Back to the Future. The last 30 minutes had me on the edge of my seat like, is it going to turn out for good? Are they gonna win? Even though it was already like, you know, written in history and in stone and stuff, it had so many plot twists and complications that happened and I was on the edge of my seat. Probably my favorite part of the movie was when Catherine was doing those final calculations and then she had to run again for the final time from the computer room to the control center where the head honcho was at and just get those calculations quickly and run that 2 miles or whatever it was. It was kind of funny because that guy who was like the messenger and bringing her the calculations and bringing her back was kind of like panting and running like, oh my gosh, this is the most exercise I've done in a year. But Catherine was like, you know what, I've been doing this for a couple of months. I got this. The last thing that I really loved was the plot. I loved how the plot had a bunch of different subplots that worked together so beautifully, just sort of pull the movie together. It also helped that there was a happy ending to all of them. Catherine found love again, Mary got to go to college, and Dorothy got to be the supervisor finally. There were so many other plots that just, you know, I don't have time for, but if there's anything that will make a movie good, it's the plot. If you guys will keep watching and subscribing and liking my videos, you'll know that I do love a good plot because stories. I like stories. Thank you all so much for watching! This was a super awesome movie for me to see and just experience with my whole family. I think this is a really good, sort of family-friendly movie depending on what your kids are reacting to. I have an entire list of movies that have come out or are going to come out, and I'm gonna try to do as many reviews as I can on all of them. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my review and spoiler rant on Hidden Figures. Hope to see you guys all soon.